A warm welcome. I, Jayashree, on behalf of everybody, thank for making your time and giving your valuable presence here. A small brief about the Crayon software. Crayon software are the experts at optimizing client ROI from complex technology. We believe passionately that organizations should only pay for the IT resources they actually need and use. But we understand that in today's complex technology landscape, that can be difficult to achieve. So, this is why we have developed a unique methodology to deliver on our belief for the customers. To highlight more on this, may I please invite Mr. Chandu Ediga from Crayon Software Experts India. So, he leads the business initiatives of Crayon in the South region. He has been working as a trusted advisor and leads the strategic relationships and initiates with key customers and is working in the same industry for more than a decade now. He understands the digital transformation roadmap of a customer and will be more than happy to share his insights. Gentlemen, with a big round of applause, may we please invite Mr. Chandu Ediga to welcome the gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you, Jayashree. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for.
You can proceed.
Yeah, thanks for coming to this event. And I would like to dwell upon certain key factors why today we are talking about digital transformation. What is the need for getting into digital transformation journey as an organization, and why we will be irrelevant if we really do not catch up the pace and start working on these lines. I will try to keep it as simple as possible. I would expect it to be more interactive. Please share your experiences and please let us know what and all you are going through on a day-to-day basis, so that it will be more interactive and then we can go along like this. Yeah. So we call this as accelerate your digital transformation. See, today if you actually observe, before I kind of get into the content, today while we agree, don't agree, in one or the other way, we are actually part of digital transformation journey at a personal level or a professional level. So yeah. So there was a survey that was conducted by PwC where there were different parameters on which approximately 280 CEOs were questioned on different parameters. One is technology advances, demographic shifts, shift in global economical power, resource scarcity and climate change, urbanization. Out of which 86% of the CEO told technology advances are the key factors which will drive their business going forward, which means today all the CXO level employees are sure that digital transformation is the method, digital transformation is the path that they need to adopt for their organization. And this is something interesting which I kind of pulled it. And if you actually see, again, this is a analysis done by Team Lease, PwC, EMA, NASSCOM. The repetitive roles that exist today will approximately 50 to 69% of the repetitive roles might not exist in the future, in the nearby future. And 9% of the workforce will be deployed in the new jobs that do not exist today. 37% will be deployed in the jobs that have radically changed skill sets. 50% will fall under unchanged jobs category. 49% of the companies have implemented AI solutions in their business and are reaping productivity benefits. So, yeah, so these are the different analysis that individual organizations have done, and then they are able to understand that digital transformation is the way forward, and then in one or the other way, you will have to start taking advantage of the digital transformation, right? So you'll have to fine tune your organization so that you are more reliable, you are more dynamic in nature to adapt to the new environments that is being demanded today. So there were multiple definitions of digital transformation where we felt this is more relevant, and then we kind of took this definition which I quote: digital transformation is the application of information technology to implement innovative business models, improve customer experience, and or operational improvements that have potential to disrupt entire industries. See, today we can talk about multiple organizations. You can talk about Swiggy, you can talk about Food Panda, you can talk about Uber, you can talk about Ola. In fact, today we have Resultix also with us. Resultix is again a born in cloud customer. So these are the companies, these are the organizations which did not exist, I would say, a decade back. If you see, there are multiple born in cloud customers today, born in cloud partners today who are already into this journey, who are already taking a strides, and then they are evolving continuously to be relevant to the market, right? So this is the dilemma which every organization will have. Should I go? Should I not go? Should I utilize the digital transformation methodology in our organization? Should I stick to the traditional way of doing business? Yeah, that will always be there. Depending, but only thing is, once it is brought to the management level, once you have a business case. Today, if you see, multiple CIOs or IT managers, right, are actually getting into the business discussions. And if you see any change in the organization, are actually driven by the business guys. So in fact, they come up with a requirement, and then the IT team will work out with their own suppliers and vendor, understand what is really needed for their organization, and start getting into it. So, and also it is to be noted that today CIOs are not only responsible for keeping the lights on, they are dynamically getting into the business requirements, and they are also going proactively to the business team and then talking about what exactly they need, how exactly they can help the business team to be more productive and then more relevant in the market. Yeah. So we define digital transformation under 4 pillars. One is engaging customers. Give them new experience they love. So there are multiple social medias that are available today where a customer can actually provide a feedback. In fact, as I was mentioning, Resultix is a omni-channel organization. Just to give an example, how the feedbacks gets collected, right? Resultix, as an example, will collect the feedback from complete social media. If you are a customer for Resultix, then they collect the feedback from the complete social media and then feed that to the organization so that the organization can work on betterment of providing services to the customer. Am I right? Yeah. So, and they take, I mean, there are multiple channels. If you can explain what exactly your company does, it will be Ravi. Yeah, if you can just stand up for 2 minutes and then explain us what exactly you do and how exactly the feedback flows to the customer. It will help, and then.
What we do is we get all the data from the cloud, social media, and WhatsApp, all the channels we are using the cloud.
Okay.
So we can create a campaign, how the segmentation is the process, and then the audience, what data points we are using.
Okay.
After that, we are setting the campaign, what are the response there, how to make this response, how to convert to the format. This is the main process of we are doing that. So
Okay.
after that, we are setting the campaign. Some feedbacks are we are getting that. Based on that, how we are improving that based on that customer feedback. So we are using the email and the SMS and WhatsApp for many channels we are using.
So, okay. So just to give an example, let's say if your insurance is due, right? Let's say it's due in 1 month. They start emailing you saying that, I'm giving a layman's example. So they'll start emailing you saying that, okay, your insurance is due. So that's a business for an organization, right? Let's say you are working with a omni-channel partner who helps you to digitize all your business needs, or your business is towards digitization, and then they start reminders on emails, and then they start reminders on SMSs, and then some people will call you and say, let's say they give a feedback to the organization saying that these are the 15 customers who are not renewing the insurance. Then that people will actually call you, that insurance agency will actually call you and say you're not insuring. So which means they're helping to reach out to that last guy who is not actually doing the insurance at the right time. I'm giving a small example. And similarly, let's say depending upon your feedback, depending upon your taste, they will actually tell you this customer will look out for something now, please start SMSing him. So all this intelligence is what it creates. In the process, what happens is you are taking the feedback from different sources and pooling that and then giving that intelligence to the organization which can use their businesses, which means this is automatically scaling up your business. This will automatically helping you, which otherwise you would have not got business from. That way it is increasing your business. One, empowering employees. Today, how many of you people use video conferences? How many of you use WebEx? How many of you use Skype, Teams? Earlier it was not possible, right? We use this, so this will kind of help you not to travel, and then you can use your time more productively, and then you can, in fact, there are more online forms today than actually filling it in a paper. So today I actually did my quarterly review with my boss. It was all online. So, and then there are so many project work that we do, which we pull it up. I mean, it's all in the online form, And then today you have SharePoint, right? Example I'm giving you, SharePoint, which is a file management system where you can just store the data and then everybody can use it. So there are multiple ways, depending upon your use cases, you can get the benefit of digital transformation. Third thing, optimizing operations. So as I was telling you, the repetitive jobs, what is existing today, the more redundant jobs will start losing out, and then the more automation is what kicks in. So when I say that, the productivity of an organization will start increasing, and then they will more than they're keeping the lights on, they will start looking at more innovation. And because obviously the slimmer the organization becomes, the responsibility will come down, right, from an operation standpoint. So it's more on that side, and it's a continuous optimization is a continuous process. There is no end to it, and it's up to the effort of that IT manager or team or COO to look up to that and then try to tune as much as possible. Transforming products. Today, if you see, there are multiple products. Let's say let's say if I take Bajaj as an example, Bajaj scooter, right? We used to, ride Chetak. Pulsar was a time, if they would have not come up with that DTSI engine and all this new concept, right? They would not be relevant today. So that was a moment when actually they decided that if they go traditionally, they will not be there in the system. There are multiple examples like that who became irrelevant with the time, and then they are no more today. So what I'm trying to, at a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is there are multiple levers that you can use at your organization level, and then as an organization we should look at continuously tuning ourselves, without which we might not be in the race today, or in fact future. Right, so these are again different analysis that we have done. So by 2025, CIOs will start spending 80% of their IT budgets on innovation, not maintenance. Just to ask everybody. So more or less everybody are from IT team, right? IT team or CIOs, right? So tell me, how many of your managers ask you to reduce cost? You can just lift your hands. Yeah. So if you see, while the business is increasing, they will actually come back and say, see, we have multiple customers, more customers, where they might be spending approximately 2 crore with us per year based on their requirement, and the user base would have increased, and they will again come back and say, after 3 years, boss, I want reduction in price because I am increasing. So you'll see these scenarios, right, more often than not, and so that's a reality. And nowadays, if you start, you might be listening to SaaS application, IAS application, business analyst, AI and predictive, IoT, process automation, security, workforce collaboration, strategy and implementation. If you are not hearing this, then your company is losing something. And if you are not listening to these things today, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will definitely listen. Forget about organization. It is in our interest to understand these things. See, how many of you fill your attendance online? I mean, mobile app. In fact, today, if you actually see, I keep on traveling. I manage complete South as a region, and out of 20 to 23 working days, 10 to 12 days I'm traveling. But I don't carry laptop majority of the time, because my mobile helps me to be online. Mobile helps me to be productive, and then on mobile I can do everything, unless I need some specific thing where I need to enter. If I have a review with my boss is when I get into laptop, because then I have to fill my Excel sheets and presentations. Otherwise, generally, the smartphones are so strong today, so enabled today, that it can actually do your complete work. In fact, all my HR approvals which I do for my team is all online, on mobile. And I travel within states, my boss travels out of country, and my conveyances gets approved on mobile. So this is how the market is moving, right? So we are talking all this digital transformation, we are talking about how market is moving, how we have to be relevant, how we have to make sure that we are part of this transformation journey. I'll just share a video which is 2 minutes talking about what is Crayon.
Charting Charting the path to optimized return on investment from complex technology has never been harder. Today's IT leader has to navigate a complex and hazardous IT landscape in order to come out on top. Crayon's unique people tools and platforms are helping customers around the world, transforming their business and uplifting value within the cloud. We provide an expert support framework to deliver agility, security, and total cost optimization. Crayon are the global software and cloud experts with over 1,000 specialist teammates worldwide and operations in over 22 countries. We have deep relationships with all the major global technology publishers, and with our unique SAM-centric consulting approach, we've been helping many of the world's leading organizations optimize their investments in complex technology for many years. The enterprise opportunities provided by hyperscaled cloud computing are almost unlimited, but leveraging them successfully is complex. The contemporary IT leader is having to move faster with greater creativity than ever before, and at a time when expert in-house resource is typically at a premium. That's why so many business leaders are choosing Crayon as their technology optimization partner to help them deliver best-in-class return on investment from complex technology and to guarantee a safe landing in their cloud. So whatever you're seeking to achieve from your technology investments, don't take on the task alone. Work with the global software and cloud experts and make your way the Crayon way.
By the way, he's our CEO. Yeah. So, what's Crayon? So I know you would have seen that ad. You would have just got some impression about how Crayon can help every organization towards the digital transformation journey. So we are a 16-year-old organization, expert on software asset management. While in India, software asset management is not rightly taken at a global level, at a developed countries level, it's pretty advisory in nature, not really auditing in nature, right? And cloud project management is what we do. So today in Indian market, right, approximately 76 are, so we are 5 years old in India, by the way, and then we are 80% of global market coverage with subsidiaries in 23 countries. So we are present across 23 countries today, and 1,300 employees, most of whom are expert consultants in their field. If you talk to Crayon, right, out of 1,300, you will at least find 300 to 400 employees who are more on the consulting side or advisory side. They would have done some or the other certification, which is more towards optimization, helping customers more on their digital transformation journey. Established relationship with the world leading technology publishers and hyperscale cloud partners. So we have a multiple OEM relationship which are global in nature. So you will see all these consultants would have had one or the other certifications either in IBM, Oracle. In fact, Microsoft is our key partner that way. Proven methodology, expert and world-class tools. So we have, within this 16 to 17 years journey, we have been working along with multiple customers, right from SMB to enterprise to government and PSUs. So in the process, we have understood the market dynamics, and then we have built our own tools. We have kind of partnered with multiple organizations, multiple partners who are more of a cloud ready, and then so in the process, what has happened is we have built a comprehensive framework for ourselves where we can help customers in the different complex journey of this digital world. So what we call ourselves are Crayon are the global software and cloud experts. We help our customers gain clarity from complexity, optimize the ROI from their technology investments, and simplify and secure their journey to digital transformation. So today, after this session, let's say if some customer comes back to me and says, "Boss, now I want to transform digitally. Now tell me what do I do?" So what happens is it's not easy. See, unless you have we were talking about we were talking to Arisen team. So where we were talking about they keep on purchasing Red Hat on a yearly basis, right? And they kind of go on a full suit basis. So we told why you want to do so? See, cloud we talk about pay as you go. We talk about OPEX based models, right? So we told there are options where you can keep on buying whatever you use. There is no need to go and then do a capex based investment. So why I'm trying to refer this point is, see, today we need to understand what we actually need for our organization, what is the business requirement for our organization, and based on that, what exactly should we procure or subscribe or take the services for. So which means that is what we will help you from, right? So that's where we call ourselves as an advisor, consultant, and in fact we are one of the organization who will come and first of all understand what you have. So before even telling what you should actually buy, we will actually understand what you want. So in the process we take more time, and we once we understand is when we give different options to you so that you can take a call accordingly. Any doubts? Yeah, so we are present, as I was telling you, we cover almost 80% of the addressable market across the globe. We are present across 23 countries. Australia is a new entry for us. We are a Norway-based organization. We started off in 2002 in Norway. And these are our global footprints. And with 1,300 employees, we cover all these areas. In fact, just to add one more point on India, India is a 5-year-old organization. We are 150 people in India and approximately present in 12 cities in India. And then we have been doing well. In fact, we came into India at the right time when actual digital transformation was happening in India. If you see a decade back, the discussion on cloud was very less, right? So in fact, 4 years back, I was talking to my CEO, I had a debate with my CEO, I told boss, who will purchase cloud here? Nobody will purchase cloud. Today I stand in front of you and I'm proud to say that 83% of my business in South happens on cloud. Yeah, so it's a learning for me also, but in the process what I'm trying to say is today if you're not there in this transformation journey, you're losing out. So we are software providers, we are service providers, we kind of optimize your software spend, we kind of help you. In fact, we even go to a level to understand what exactly you need to procure. We kind of even advise on what is to be procured, what not to be procured. And then whatever you have purchased today, are you using it or not using it? If you are not using it, why you are not using it? Does your business need it or does not need it? Do you need to renew that or not renew that? These are the different discussions that we get into. And these are the different resellers that we kind of work with Microsoft being top of them. In fact, 80% of our business is on Microsoft today. Yeah, so as I was telling you, it's the same thing what I was telling you. Help customers to optimize software costs and reduce complexity. Because in the process of moving towards digital transformation or trying to understand new technologies that you need to procure, right, you will have multiple options. So for an organization, it should really fit the bill. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Right, customers, so we also go back to customer and then save their spend. So we actually understand your current infra spend and then we would like to work with you, with your IT team or whoever is the relevant team, and then work with them and then try to see how we can optimize. In fact, if we can, I'll tell you, we'll have a pretty good discussion with our CFOs than IT managers because we talk about reducing your spends. Customers benefit from Crayon global presence. So let's say any organization today needs any support. In fact, while we were talking to Radhika from ResultX, she quickly asked us, how many countries are you present? I want to do a global business today. See, today, any organization, if their product really fits the bill, right, going global is not a big deal, right? So that is what we kind of help also. We connect with our different geographies and then help the customers to go there and then also do some business. So approximately in this last 16 to 17 years, we have 8,000 customers globally. In India, we have around 800 customers, 800 reaching towards, trying to touch towards 1,000 and approximately 600 partners that we have. So let's say there are some specific solutions that you are looking for. Let's say any manufacturing organization looks at IoT, they are looking for some IoT solution or they are looking for some data and a specific solution, right? That is when we involve a niche partner whose expertise is only that. While we front end, we do everything for you. That is the helping hand that we get from the channel ecosystem that we have. Finally, making sure that customer gets whatever he is looking for. So so this is what we do. Software and cloud analytics, consulting and cloud services, AI and machine learning is something, is a buzzword that you must be listening everywhere. So this is something where we are investing and then we have a channel market as I was telling you. So these are the 4 areas, 4 pillars that we work on from a services standpoint. And we have center of excellence only for AI. These are the regions that we are present on AI, and then these are the number of people who are presently part of Crayon, and then we have 15 PhDs, 25 data scientists, data engineers, large pool of AI developers. As a center of excellence, these are the number of people that we have. And we have our own set of tools which I was referring to. We have SAM IQ, Cloud IQ, Partner IQ, Digital 360, Cloud Desk, Pulse. All these things are meant for customers so that they are spending optimally. They are spending what they have purchased. Sorry, they are using what they have purchased. And then SAM IQ is something more to do with your software inventory. And then we also help you to understand, are you using your license correctly or not? Are you complied, not complied? Is there any help that you need? In fact, we also give you a pattern of, let's say today you are using Azure, right? Do you know what exactly you are spending? How exactly is the spend happening? What are the different, are you charging back to your departments? Are you getting that clarity? All these things are inbuilt in SAM IQ. We call it as intelligent cloud. IQ is intelligent cloud. Cloud IQ is again, it's a platform that we provide where we talk more about, you will be able to see different VMs. You'll be able to analyze your spend. That's what it kind of provides you. This is one of the customers' story.
Trusted Source provides business and technology services to customers, IT, HR, finance, corporate secretarial services. We want to be much more connected to our customers and want to provide much more relevant and timely services to them. Well, Crayon stood out to us. They had the capability, they were responsive, and certainly provide good value.
Our value proposition is cloud first, SAM first, to enable us to optimize the return on investment on complex technologies for our customers. We are the software experts. Our mission is really to enable customers to use their technologies in the best way.
They were able to come in and talk to us about how it could be done, and that was extremely helpful. And that gave us the confidence to be able to proceed on this journey.
Trusted Source came to Crayon because they were looking for the most competent and reliable partner in that field, and they got our name recommended from Microsoft.
When the customer sees that there is a solution that satisfies their needs, and there is a skill of people that are coming from a trusted partner with trusted infrastructures that they can rely on, Microsoft provides the solution in the Azure computing platform or the services to Crayon, and Crayon shares their customer knowledge, but also their know-how on the application and the solutions that they have developed.
The fact that I was able to get the majority of our systems from our data center out into the cloud in a matter of 6 months, I think is something that I'm very, very proud of. Without this partnership, I don't think we would have been able to achieve that on our own.
Thank you very much. So our last note, any CFO asking for reduction in their overall IT spend, any OEM coming and talking to you saying that I'll audit you, any business problem, professional business problem that you might have, please come back to us. We are there to support you, help you. We are all there for you. In fact, Krishna manages Chennai region for us, and I manage complete South region. I have given my card. We can also talk after this session. We are happy to help you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ediga. So, gentlemen, may I now request Mr. Pradeep Junjunwala, Cloud Evangelist from Microsoft, to join us on stage and share a few words. So, Mr. Junjunwala helps the customers and the partners understand how cloud landscape will help in digital transformation journey. Please, sir.
Thank you guys, first of all, for coming in the evening and listening to Microsoft. I'm Pradeep Junjunwala. I'm a partner technology strategist. What I do is basically work with partners and customers to build what should they be doing and what is the future strategy they should be doing it. I think this is a overemphasized word. Everybody talks about digital transformation. What today on the digital transformation pillar we are going to talk about is how much employees are important for digital transformation. And whenever I talk about digital transformation, one thing which generally we don't talk is how the IT people are important for digital transformation. We talk about end customers of yours, which are your employees, but the most precious resource today is the team you manage. Because they are the one in the field who's actually solving the problem. They are the one who's going to implement what we are going to think about. So when we talk about digital transformation, I think this is a core responsibility that we also empower the IT employees and also the same way empower the end customers, your end customers, which are the people on the field. So how can they both do the job better? Because as much as stress those guys are, I believe the stress level on the IT team is much higher. So the whole idea of digital transformation is how can I help both the IT team and the end user to get the job better. For me, that's the most important pillar of digital transformation. And with Microsoft 365, this is our charter. How can we do that? Correct? So when I take a modern workplace, there are three different components we talk about. The M365, which is Office, Windows 10, and enterprise security, which is the main focus of it. But then the other component like devices, the other component, either it can be Surface or it can be third-party devices, it can be mobile phones, all those. And you have all the augmented reality devices coming up, HoloLens, VFX from Facebook and stuff like that. And those are part of the devices which you're going to manage. How you're going to do that? AI has become really pervasive. Cortana at work, which is AI from us, becoming pervasive. Bing for business or browser for business, I'll show you a small demo of that. How can you use that? And Edge Commercial and other softwares which you talk about. So there's a lot of plethora of software we keep on talking about and how people can really work on it. Chandu talk about the attendance system or uses of mobile. It sounds very fascinating. The challenge is how to build and manage those apps. People like us keep on changing the version of the software, the OS. So if you build an app for iOS 10 or 11, in 6 months that's going to be obsolete because the new version of iOS is going to come in. Same with Android or same with Windows, correct? How can you build application on fly is the demand. How can you really be productive? How can you really show value to your CFO or to the CEO? In fact, there's an interesting discussion which we came in. Last year, Satya was in Davos and he was talking to CEOs, not the IT manager. And a couple of CEOs came and asked him, tell me how are you going to secure my metadata, not even data, metadata in your cloud. So what is happening with that discussion? The CEOs actually understand technology better than the CIOs now. And that's the scary part, correct? That's a real scary part because understand, the guys who are talking to Satya are the CEOs of large multinational corporates. And they're asking, Mr. Nadella, how are you going to secure my metadata? Because that's more valuable than data actually on the cloud. So if they're asking that question to the Satya, they must be asking more difficult questions to you guys. Correct? That's where the technologies comes in picture. That's where the innovation comes in picture. That's why I keep on saying, IT team is always more stressful than the employee. So I need to build and help my IT team with the tools and technologies which can take away the stress. And they can actually give you innovation on the fly. I'm not going to talk about Office 365. I'm not going to talk that these are the 5 features we introduced in Word. Guys, you know it all and might be better than me. What I'm going to talk about is how can you do some of the jobs which you do faster with the technologies I'm coming at. So let's talk about the first Office 365, correct? These are 4 pillars of Office 365: modern desktop, security and compliance, teamwork, and first-line worker. And we're going to talk about each of them. So modern desktop, sit with M365, which is basically my Office, Windows 10, and my EMS suite product. And if I build the slide up, this is a common challenge. The user wants simplicity, flexibility, and mobility. He wants to have any device he wants and want to work. The challenge is you are worried about security. You are worried about how the experience of the user will be on that device. Because if you allow him to bring any device, experience is bad, he will not understand that this experience happens because of the device. He says my IT department does not work. And by 2025, 85% of your employees who will be millennium, they are used to ad hoc working, correct? So if I look at a 21-year-old joining organization, he's used to all different type of devices, all different ways of doing it. IT is evolving. So how can I have the same management, security and compliance with this is my challenge, correct? If you look at yourself also, how many devices you have at home? And we work with across any devices. And we need that same flexibility across any devices. Means if somebody says that I have to use a MacBook at home, but then I have to install a VPN to access my internal portal, that seems like a cardinal sin. 10 years back, it was okay. That you require office access, you need to have a VPN. Today they say, why can't you put everything on the internet? Everything is on the internet. Why should I, for accessing some of the corporate website, I need to install a VPN, make it very complicated, get some 5 certificate installed, and do it. And after that, you will scan my laptop, which has personal content, say this is not allowed, that is allowed. Why should I do that? That's what the young generation are saying. 5 years back, okay, you have to have a VPN, you have to have a certificate, you need to scan the laptop, you need to be authorized. Today they're saying this device is safe enough. I'm doing my banking transaction on that. So it's better be safe. So how can you allow that? That's the discussion we are having. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to build your modern desktop which is most productive, more secure and lowest TCO. And I'm going to show you a couple of demos how we are doing it. So let me start with a small demo saying that how can we be more productive, correct? So this is a SharePoint site. Everybody uses it. Tell me an organization which does not collect data from customers, from internal employees, who does not collect data, who does not do surveys, or who does not have a sales guy is collecting some data, correct? Every employee, every customer, every of you need it. The challenge is today you collect the data in form of Excel sheets. You sell the Excel sheet to one sales guy, he will collect the data. Somebody at the back end will correct the Excel sheet, try to build a report out of it. That's the way we do it. What I say is that there's a much more elegant way, and you can actually build a mobile app in few clicks to do the same job without writing a single line of code. Seems to be a better way, correct? The employee at the end is productive. The IT team does not have to collate and manage the Excel sheets. And you are getting a much more better interface to the user, and you're doing innovative stuff, correct? So that's the whole idea. So this is a same Excel SharePoint list, what I created. I can go and add further columns. I can say name of the store name, all the columns I can add. And if you look at it here, correct, there's something called Power Apps. I can go and click and say create an app here. I'm very conscious of the bandwidth. I'm on a real geo hotspot, so I'm not doing it. So I've created that before, but it will take not more than 5 minutes actually to create your mobile app which can run on iOS, Android, and Windows, and create a mobile app which will look like this. And you can customize that. I'm just giving you the raw format. The application will look like this. Basically, where you see the records coming in. I can just say add. I can say store name as Chennai. I can upload a file. I submitted a record. And what you see is this record coming up here on my list. And this is a mobile app created in a fly for collecting the data. Or and I can do multiple workflows where I can, if I do a small coding, I can also get data from my ERP system here. Now what I'm doing is I'm making your employees productive. I'm making IT team productive. So if you see this correct, this is the data we populated, comes out here. And when I want to take a report, I can export that in Excel sheet, massage it, and give it to anybody. And this data in a structure format says shared in SharePoint. Believe me, this will not take more than 5 minutes to do it. I'm building a mobile application without writing a single line of code. That's the power of Office 365. This actually comes with 2 products of ours, Power Apps and SharePoint. As simple as that. So I can collect data, I can create multiple flows application, I can collect workflows with almost zero code. And the best part is, because this is added to the main Power App, what we have done, you really don't have to worry about the version change. We take care of that. So if the iOS change from 11 to 12, we'll upgrade the Power App at the back end to take care of the nuances. You have to just manage the small piece of application which you have created on the fly here. That's what we're saying, making it more productive. This is making the employees productive. This is making the IT department productive. I can talk about 50 other features of Office, but this is actually what is making it productive. Features like this, what really makes it productive. There's one more component called Flow, which can integrate and actually do a complete workflow for you. That's the whole idea. So this makes you more productive. Switching back to my slides. The second option is, it says more secure, correct? How am I making it more secure? How many of you have seen your colleagues suffering from ransomware, or how many of you have suffered from ransomware? Correct? Multiple of you, everybody has suffered from ransomware. What happens in ransomware? My data goes for a toss. We understood the problem, and you have two products which comes as part of Office 365 or M365, Defender and OneDrive. If I tell you this two products actually protect you from ransomware without any other further investment, that actually makes you more secure. Let me show you that also. So everybody uses OneDrive, correct? Defender is part of a thing. So what I do is I have a Defender installed on my laptop, and this is a antivirus screen. Hope everybody can see it at the back. If I click here, correct? There's something called ransomware protection on the bottom. If I click here, it actually says your files are protected in your OneDrive. I hope I can zoom this up. Your files are actually protected in OneDrive. This OneDrive is linked to my file protection. So all my files actually are stored in OneDrive. If a ransomware attack happens, it deletes my files, I can recover my files from ransomware without adding any extra investment. And this is one of the examples. There are multiple of them. The reason I'm taking this example is because you can relate to that. People have suffered it here. So this, again, using the same technology what you have today, you can actually protect your machines from ransomware and other vulnerability. So now lowest TCO is a very funny term, correct? Lowest cost of ownership, because people say products are very costly. I'm spending too much of money on it. But I have a different connotation to that. And I'll give you the reason why they have a different connotation to that. How you define your TCO is the number of services I can use. And this is one of the things which I keep on talking to my partners also, that when somebody buys a product from Microsoft or O365 license from Microsoft, it's not a one-time sell. It's a sell where you have to go to every month and say what is the additional value you can derive for it. So I maintain a count of a number of features we released on Office 365 from last 2 years. For E3 license, the number of features or add-ons are 78, which include not only enhancement, new softwares also. Things like Teams. How many of you have heard of software called Staff Hub? That's part of Office 365. Now, how many of you from industry where you schedule people? Manufacturing industry where you schedule people, correct? We do that in Excel, correct, today? Staff Hub is a software which you get free of cost from Microsoft on certain SKUs, which actually give you scheduling of your complete employees on a tool-based system. It's free of cost. Tell me an organization which does not have videos in it. You all have videos, correct? What do you do with the videos? Store in the files here, correct? And when somebody wants to search it, the IT department does it for them. Can you get me that video of 2 years back of CEO? It gets a request to you. Then somebody from your team, the poor chap, goes and look at 50 videos and say this is the video he wants, sends a link. This guy says I can't download a link, creates one more link, then physically goes to his laptop, copies the file and give it to him, and they say this is not a right video. General problem? We have a feature called Streams, which is part of Office again, where you can actually upload all your video and create a personalized YouTube channel for the organization. Think of it, your own personal YouTube channel for your organization, for your employees. And then it meta tags the video. It will tag the video. So you can search it also. Now I'm taking a use cases which are common to everybody. Now these are not rocket science. This is just go to portal.office.com, you see application called Stream, log in, upload the video. And there's adaptive size. So if somebody is using on mobile, it will convert to the right mobile size. If somebody is using on laptop, convert to laptop. So that's the power of it. That's the features we are adding in it. Now, we also take a responsibility that we need to educate people how to use the system properly. We also have partners who does that. When they say software asset management, this is software asset management. Saying that you have this software asset. If you're buying a software which actually does the same job, please reuse it. That's what Crayons adds a value add. A lot of people use Slack. We have teams which are free of cost. Can't we use that? So 78 features, out of which 10 are new products, which we gave to the customer on the same cost as they bought for 2 years back. We didn't increase the price. That's where the TCO value comes up really well. Make sense? So that's where I say that we make it more productive, make it more secure, we have a better TCO story. So we run through the demo. Now, this is an area which is close to every IT guy's heart and is a pain for every IT guys, compliance. How many of you like to do compliances? I need a show of hand. And how many of you hate compliances? So everybody hates compliances, correct? Reason is, we really don't know why we are doing it. But we have to do it, otherwise the jobs are at stake. So how can Microsoft really help us? Or what the compliances really means? So I don't have to run the numbers, correct? But then this is what the compliance really means. We'll have 163 petabyte of data created in a year by 2025. Data is the biggest risk. Data has a lot of challenges. How can we go protect it? But then what our methodology is saying is, as a user, first you move away from a device-based security to identity-based security. And the reason is very simple. Up till 5 years back or 7 years back, you had one device. Now you have multiple devices and you have accessing everywhere. So you need to secure your identity, not the data device. Second, make sure when the data is created, you secure at the source. When a document is created, you mark the document as highly confidential or general public. When an email is created, secure the document at the source. Otherwise, you'll have challenge. Understand how the device is secured. Third, the biggest challenge we're having is the fragmentation of the tools. See, one is what my users will do, but what my IT department will do. Today, IT department is running amazing amount of tools. For threat management, one tool, for other, one tool. Can I consolidate my tool to run a single agent on my desktop is the challenge. That's if you do that, that really helps you in compliance also. Because what you're doing is you're going access, protect and respond. You can access what you have in a proper way, you can protect it, and secondly, you respond fast. The reason why they are saying AAML and we are saying AAML so fast is because the hackers are using those tools. The hackers are actually using AAML to hack you. So you need to respond with the same tool. You can't say that they are using ML and I'm going to respond by a manual tool. I can't happen that. I need to have the same power to respond to that. So I need to automate all my responses. That's the whole idea. So, but then for compliance, what we do. So let me give you an example of the compliance stuff what we do. And this is again valid for both our cloud. I think this is good enough if you can see this portion of it. So we release a tool called Compliance Manager. Compliance Manager is basically a tool where if you're hosting anything on our cloud, which is Dynamics, Azure or Office 365, we understand we have around 82 compliance levels what we give you. ISO compliance, SOX compliant, GDPR compliance. Now as a platform, every compliance I hope this signs in. Every compliance has a list of components you have to check out. Correct? Generally what happens is, you come to know about this compliance settings when the auditor comes in checks your system and say, you are out of compliance for this, correct? And then you basically go and fix the system up. And then you say, okay, this is compliance. The auditor comes back and say, no, you are still missing these 5 points. And then you again fix it, create a report out of it, try to solve it. What this tool does is, it says, Mr. Customer, you are in Office 65, you want to be GDPR compliant. As a platform, out of the 1,000 compliance points you need to take care of it, I'll take care of 600 points and I'll list those 600 points to you. The rest 400 points, what you have to be compliant of, these are the rest 400 points you have to do. And these are the actions you can do for complying for that. And once you do that action, please list down that actions in the portal. When you start listing the portal, you can export that thing in a form of Excel sheet. And we are not still giving you that you are GDPR compliant. The auditor still need to come in because he has to make money, correct? And I'm not a guy who can give a compliance certification. So when the auditor comes in, you export that Excel sheet, give the sheet out to the auditor. And these are the 1,000 points. You want to check? This is my compliance sheet. Not tell me whether I'm compliant or not. Believe me, this actually saves 90% of your time and cost. And you look very, very amazing in front of your CEO because you say, I'm compliant. I know what I'm doing. Somebody should not tell me, yeah, you want a stamp? This guy better do the stamping work. Yeah, it is an instant reporting for you. We don't give you a certification still because we are not authorized certification provider, but then we give you all the tools to get certified. So what can actually happen is, when an auditor comes in, he charges you for two things. One is compliance consulting and certification. The first part is taken care by this. And this is a free tool. Think of it. This comes with every subscription of Microsoft. This is the way we are serious about compliance because we understand that our IT team actually need that help because they are doing this job and they need the help. That's why we launched this tool for almost every compliance what we have on. We have 82 compliances. For most of the common compliances we have this. Both Office 65, Azure and Dynamics. All the three clouds have this. Now what I'm trying to do is trying to help the IT guys do better and productive work. Simple as that. Let's move to the second topic, security, which keeps everybody awake at night, correct? Somebody might hack it, somebody might break in. What I need to do in security? So what I have, earlier I used to have one device, few servers on my data center. I used to put everything on lock. Nothing is happening, nothing is going out. I know only one connection coming in. I was happy, one device, everything is locked for that. Today, this is the scenario. Somebody is working out of Chicago office, somebody is working out of a Starbucks. I need to support that because the CEO says that we are now mobile, we have no offices. My data is stored in OneDrive, my data is stored in some other Google Drive, I have Office 65, I have 50 other devices, all that happening. How can I secure that? Correct? And then the beautiful word called digital transformation. I really don't know what it's doing, but it's taking my night outs. So how can I secure when all this thing is happening? And on top of it, 90% of data is created in the last 2 years. So your organization is doing the same, it's creating more data. $600 billion is lost to cybercrime every year, which is a staggering figure. $600 billion. And on top of it, European Union comes and say that if you are not GDPR compliant, I'm going to charge 4% of your total revenue. Simple. Just give me 4%, I'm okay with that. So if your revenue is 100 million, give me 4 million, you can be non-GDPR compliant. So think of that. Simple, nothing more, 4% is good enough. So with that, and if you charge 4%, the CEO will not be happy. And who's going to be fired? We know the answer, correct? So what we are trying to do, we're trying to do this. We're trying to grab software. We're trying to grab solutions. Okay, for this I'll do this. For this I'll add one more software. Sorry, I skipped a slide. So we actually trying to grab software. And in the name of security and GDPR and compliance, even the CFO is approving the budget. Tell me which CFO says, you go and take a proposal for this security, I need this software. Will the CFO says no? He say, can I get 5% more discount? But yeah, you need this software. Now the challenge is not that. The challenge is the security software you're buying actually is not allowing you to buy something which is more important for the user. Because the IT budget is fixed. My worry is that. So you're not able to actually honor the commitment what you made in the starting of a year to your CEO or to your CFO. Because that also is your appraisal cycle, correct? Because of this, you're not able to do that. Second, every software you add on the machine, you're installing one more agent, which is making the machine look sluggish. Which is taking that my IT department machine does not work, my home machine works. Simple comparison. My laptop, Windows laptop, which is bought at 30,000 rupees, works faster than a 90,000 laptop at the home, at the office, correct? Because what we are doing, at the name of security, we are adding agents. Every agent, it actually adds overhead. What we are trying to do at Microsoft is this. We're looking at all the different requirements what you have. I'm building solution for this. With the idea, with a single agent, I deliver all of that? And can I have a single console managing all of this? Can the IT team respond and understand the threat all end to end? So it does not look at software A to respond to something A and software B to respond to something A and does not understand what is the correlation of it. Can I have a single dashboard or plugin to give you that? I'll give you one interesting software. I don't know how many of you know about it. It's called Microsoft Cloud App Security. Now this is an amazing piece of thought which came in. And this is a software which is really born out of the new born in cloud issues. We did a survey of top 500 Fortune 500 companies, and we found that 90% of the Fortune 500 companies were using something called Shadow IT. Now what is Shadow IT? You as an IT company says use OneDrive, 50 users use Google Drive. You really don't know what is happening because you're not aware of it. And when the compliance guy comes in, he says, guys, these are the guys who are creating a problem for you. These guys are leaking document. Somebody is using software which are not authorized. Somebody is storing files somewhere else which is not authorized. And this is all happening. How can I protect that? This piece of technology actually does that. It scans your organization and tells you what are the softwares which are not authorized, how the traffic is actually flowing out to non-authorized file shares or applications. And how can then you protect it? Now, this is very interesting because every organization I have talked to or worked with, there's a piece of shadow IT which is happening. The marketing department stands the biggest culprit because they have to deliver everything as of yesterday. My wife works for marketing, so I know what's like, okay, this ad has to come out yesterday. You have not even suited the ad. That's okay. I'll transfer using WeTransfer. The company IP ad going on WeTransfer. And you have OneDrive also because they don't know it, so they are using WeTransfer, giving access to links which they should not be giving to it. I need to transfer 500 MB file to the marketing agency, so I'll do it. But then how can I stop it is the whole idea. We have advanced protection, we have conditional access, huge amount of security software what we are building. In fact, last month we launched the first SIEM in the world which is based on AI. And we are the first company to do that. So we take security amazingly important and we are investing huge money to build that. And again, this is a single piece of suite which gives you that. And why we are confident that will work? Because security is about knowing the world. What is happening around the world? What new type of issues are coming in? Understand, we also operate the largest cloud in the world. With both Office and Azure, we are present practically in 52 countries. We are a company which gets maximum type of hacked attack. We have the huge amount of signals which comes in. And we actually take all that signal and build the software which can really help you. Today, my Azure software, I can actually pinpoint if you're getting attack, it's coming from which country. And I have seen this attack to come in from other customers or not. I can help you detect that. Similar with Office also. That's the value add we bring apart from the software building in, because of the real data which we get of all the different platforms what we have across the world. So zero-day attack also to a large extent can be prevented if you actually design your software properly or design your system properly. See, security is a stuff where nobody can say that I'll prevent all the attacks. Standing here, I'll not even say that. But if you design your software properly, you can prevent it. I'll give you examples. Ransomware, 90% time exploits zero-day attack. If you have a system like what I showed to you, the attack will happen, people will get affected, but then you will not lose anything. Yeah, you will not lose anything, correct? That's the whole idea. Now, the third pillar, which is the teamwork. And what we say is, you're going to collaborate more, you're going to work together more, your employees are going to come and work more. So how are you going to solve it? So what we have done is, we understood how the organizations are going to work. So what we see is, there's something called inner loop, where people want to work inside the organization. So we build softwares like Teams to do that. There's outer loop where people want to work with partners and where it's much more open and less authentication is required. We build softwares like Yammer to solve that. And then you have open loops like where we want to really work with anybody internationally, and we build Kaizala for that. I'll try to give you a small perspective of Kaizala in a few minutes, but then what we're trying to do is, we're trying to have softwares which can cater to need of all the people. People still want to work on emails. We are happy to that. We have the best email service in the world. I don't think anybody will contest on that for enterprise. We bought in Teams to basically make people interactive inside the organization. We bought audio conference to that. We bought video conference to that. But we thought that we need more. So we bought document management to that. Then people said we still need more, so we bought applications to that. So you can build your custom application to that. I'll give you an example. A company in Chennai actually built a bot on Teams. What it does, it says, book a meeting for me with this 5 people, find a room also. I want the meeting to happen in between 1 to 4. Actually type to the bot. The bot goes and figures out the calendar for people and say, okay, out of the 5, this slot for half an hour is free for everybody. This room in the meeting is, your conference room is free. Do you want to book it? You say yes, it actually books the meeting room. So the whole idea is, this is making your end customer more productive. This is bringing innovation to you. And we can do all of that today in Teams. The first line worker. Now, we really neglected these guys. We thought IT they don't require IT. People who are doing the real sales job on the field, or people who are at the factory soft floor, they really don't need the IT. And Chandu talked about the attendance system, correct? And that's an interesting piece which I really liked about it. Now, when you do attendance, correct, on the mobile app, the biggest challenge is I can be anywhere. I can be at my home and say, I'm present. How you solve that? Geolocation, correct? We have fancy stuff, we will do it. Now the challenge is, you have to build a software to do that. Now what I see is, I have something called Kaizala on my, and this was not planned, so that's why you start seeing my phone coming out, not a laptop. Kaizala has something called action cards. In action card, there's a action card which is called attendance. I try that. It gives action card. I say present here. It takes the geolocation, everything here. And at the back end, it will create a report. Now this was there already. I actually wanted to show you a demo when Chandu said that he's doing this today. The idea is again here is, this has more than 50 action cards on it. and you can build your own action card with very limited code, and Crayons have skills to do that for you. The whole idea is we are empowering the first line worker. You can have a sales guys, does your attendance, report stuff. If you want to have him collect data or see how much payment is pending, do all of that using the Kaizala. Or if you're a guy at the soft floor, you want to train him. I'll give you an example of a project which I'm working on. Now, do you think pilots are first line workers? Pilots are first line workers, correct? They don't hardly get the time to sit in the office, work on it, they're on field always. Pilots have regulation that whenever they go for a flight, they actually have to run a training on it. So have you ever wondered why pilots used to carry a big black color box every time they used to go on a flight, everybody? Those actually were flight manuals. So they actually read up before starting a flight. That sounds scary, that I'm going to read up before driving the flight. So if I don't read up properly, I can have issues. So people wanted to digitize. So there's a company in Hyderabad, Indian company, which actually owns 80% of the space. They digitize and make the whole training in a mobile format. So now they have iPads and mobile phones. Before going to taking the flight, they actually look at a video. Now think of a same case in manufacturing company, where you have multiple new people coming in. They all have smartphones. I don't see anybody having normal phone apart from my dad. So he still has the old phone and is happy with it. So what you can do is you can build training videos for them. What we say is, your business is more successful if the first line worker is more empowered. This is a survey done by different industry. How can I empower him? By sending information, by connecting him to the organization. This is directly connecting him. He can see his shift happening directly on it, instead of going and seeing everything on board. Because in a large plant, fortunately, unfortunately, I worked with a lot of oil companies in India. To see the board, an employee sometimes used to travel 3 kilometers. Because he's on the far end of the factory, the board is on the main gate, and he can check out from the, but just to see that, to travel that much. Again, we can give him alerts that your shift is starting now, or change the shift, and he can see that. He can see the videos how to operate that plant. In native language, he can ask for support. All that using the first line worker. And we are building tools like Kaizala to do that. And you'll be surprised, Kaizala is one of the first products from Microsoft which is built in India. Complete thought and built in India, because we understand that we have the maximum amount of first line workers in India who need to be empowered. This is conceptualized and everything done out of Hyderabad. That's what the first line worker means, where you are able to innovate and help people. You have tons of, whenever you buy a machinery, there's tons of training video comes with it. That sits on some shelf in some manufacturing, some plant guys. Can you convert that to small capsules and deliver that to the worker? That this is the way to operate the plant. This is the way to do your stuff. That's empowering employees. That's digital transformation for me. Not just by implementing some real big cloud thing, where you can really empower the users, employ your end users. That's true digital transformation. Similarly, when you buy a lot of stuff, all those manuals can be digitized and given on those applications. That's what we're talking about. That's what I keep on saying. That's the fourth pillar: modern desktop, security and compliance, teamwork, and first line worker. That's at Microsoft what we do. And how we offer that? We offer that using something called M365, which is a comprehensive end-to-end system for all of what I have talked to you. Apart from a regular Office, Windows, and security, all of that what I've talked to you. Apart from securing this device to that device on there, on MacBook at your home, everything is what we offer at M365 as a solution. For me, that's the starting point of digital transformation. If I can embrace the whole technology in its whole and use it for all my employees, different segment, different profiles, that's digital transformation. I had this much for you guys. Any questions, thoughts, more than happy to hear them. Yeah.
Previously used to use Skype for Business, and after coming to Microsoft Teams, we started using Microsoft Teams. So what would be the roadmap for Skype for business?
The Skype for business will continue at the back end. Teams will become the front end for everything. See, the challenge was very simple. With Skype, we have SharePoint, we had Yammer, we have multiple other channels, OneDrive, and bots, correct? So what was happening for the user? For document, he has to go to OneDrive. For some applications, to go to SharePoint. For video and chat, he has to go to Skype. Now he also wants a persistent chat. For groups or one side, he has to go to SharePoint. If you look at a user, what I'm doing, I'm actually asking him to open 4 applications. What we did with Teams is we actually bundle all that and give you a simple team. In this team, you have sites, OneDrive, application, video, audio, chat, and it's persistent. So that's the roadmap. Teams is going to be the roadmap. Simple as that. For all your internal communication, Teams is the roadmap. And Teams has much better audio and video conferences because we understand latency is much better now to do that. Any further questions? You can build a small action card to do the CRM. Now, as a CRM, we have a full-fledged CRM project, but then if your requirement is a small mini version of CRM, I have a customer who has done that. To collect customer information, to understand, to take orders. So I have a small customer in Coimbatore who has built a action card which basically goes and collect money. That's it. He goes to a shop and say, this guy owns this much. So collect money. Collects money, puts in the CRM, and updates the backend system. There's one guy who has built action card just to take orders. Now if that's a CRM, yeah, that's a complete CRM, might be not. But if it fits your bill, yes. That's the whole idea. Joe is also a great partner, but then, yeah. Any questions, guys? Further questions? I don't want to stand between the dinner and... So if you have no questions, can we open up the dinner? Or you have some time? Yeah, so we have time. So I want to stand between that. Power? Bot. Okay. So I'm a guy who does not like PPTs. Sorry for that. I'm a guy who likes to actually show the products. So look at Plus. This will list down some 700 or some couple of thousand applications, which also include bots. So these bots are built by our partners like Crayon or some other companies, which you can buy from here, or you can have people like Crayon engaged to build bots for you in these specific cases. So if you look at this, there's a bot called Calendar Bot. I can go and add this bot. Obviously, I don't have a permission because I'm a normal user in my enterprise. So I can only do it for myself, not for the complete enterprise. It will go and give me option to save it. This is a calendar bot where I can interact and book meetings with a couple of people. That's a feature available to you right there and there. If I save it here, that's a wrong place to save it. So it acts as a calendar bot and then I can start chatting with it. So I have to log in and approve the things and then start doing it. So that's the power of Teams which gets you in. So I'm adding a calendar bot on fly in front of you on the Teams. So either you can use the pre-built stuff or you can create your own stuff. We allow both. Does that answer the question? A lot of our ISVs are building software on top of it to help the customer because this is one of the most widely used tools now across the globe. In fact, this is so widely used now is that we have customers coming and saying that I've created too many team sites inside it. Can you help us reduce that? So we're coming with a feature where we'll say that these are not frequently used team site. You can log out of it. It will not show that. So that's Teams for you. Yeah. Any further questions? So thank you guys. I hope this was time well spent. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Pradeep. So, gentlemen, may I now request Mr. Krishna Kumar, who manages the key accounts from Chennai. So, he belongs to Crayon Software. May I please invite him to propose the vote of thanks?
So, good evening, gentlemen. So, my name is Krishna Kumar. I just take care of Chennai accounts, direct business for Chennai. So, I hope this session is quite informative as well. And the special thanks to Mr. Chandu Ediga from Crayon for giving an elaborate session about digital transformation. And then the gentleman from Microsoft, Mr. Pradeep, who really gives a wonderful live demo today. Really thanks, Pradeep, for coming here. So I think that's done. I'll just take your minutes and the cocktails, everything is there. I mean, we can enjoy. And I think we have a feedback form on the table. So guys, please enter it off. And I can just present to the guys who is in reception there. I mean, and you can get the token of appreciation from Crayon and Microsoft. Once again, thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Krishna, for making my job easier. So, gentlemen, I would once again like to emphasize telling that you guys please fill in the feedback forms and report it in the registration desk, which is outside, and feel free to collect our goodie bags as a token of appreciation. Gentlemen, the cocktail is about to open and the dinner is also open simultaneously. So you guys can go ahead and enjoy. And once again, thanking each and everyone for joining us here for the business meet of Crayon Software. Thank you.